Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Jordan here. Today I'm going to continue working on the changes that I started yesterday that involve cleaning up the Lego room. I created this massive Lego graveyard. What is a Lego graveyard? It's just a bunch of stuff that needs to be like parted out, sorted, and reintegrated back into my parts. It's not an actual graveyard. The actual graveyard's in the city right there, right? But this is just a bunch of mocks and base plates, parts and sets and sharks. Whoa! Well, that's a lot of sharks. That's pretty cool. And like old rebrickable models that need to be parted out and just dispersed at this particular point in time. I also need to finish vacuuming, so I'm going to do that today as well. And then over here at my desk, I've got a bunch of other stuff that I'm going to be cleaning up and reorganizing. Going to fix up this shelf here today, so that's exciting. Going to make that look good. My goal is just to make the Lego room very presentable. I got rid of those platforms underneath the table, and that looks fantastic. So I'm just like in this mindset. It's like, it's spring. It's spring cleaning time. Let's spring clean my garage. Let's spring clean my house, and let's spring clean the Lego room. In addition to cleaning up all of this stuff, I'm also going to redo the shelf. No, I'm not going to pull the shelf down and redo the actual shelf, but all of the sets on this shelf are going to get switched up a little bit. So I want to complete that display. And then I might make the change to the Lego City, specifically with the amusement park or the Eiffel Tower. I'll think about that. But first, I better start my day by dealing with this big mess and haul all this big heavy lumber to my garage. I've gone through and organized everything. All of this stuff here, the facades, the plates, the train station, the go-kart track entrance, a bunch of stuff that used to be in the amusement park or was on hold for the zoo, which is now complete. The Friends modular building. And then pretty much everything on this shelf up here is all getting parted out, other than, of course, 8 studs. That needs to be reintegrated into the Lego City, and so does this little coffee cart. And then all of this stuff is going to stay intact for our future underwater scene. I still can't get over how many sharks are in there. That is awesome. This one is so cool. But it's got nothing on this one right here. That's from the Silent Mary. And this is from that big ship. Where is it? Up there. The one that floats so well. But then we're going to keep the Octane gas station as well. That's going to be converted into a corner building eventually. This is an alternate build by Brick Artisan. It's called the Activity Center. It's from one of the Heart Lake City school sets. Then I've got all this stuff here, which I think can be integrated into the amusement. Oh, this has got to go. But a lot of this stuff can be put into the amusement park or into the city. That's a lot of parts and a lot of color. I cleaned up over here by adding a few new shelves to the Billy units and reorganized some of the sets. So now the Imperial Light Cruiser is right here with all these other Star Wars starships. And then we've got the Y-Wing over here by the ATM-6. I moved down this shelf here with some of the Mandalorian stuff. And then I moved up the Indiana Jones sets right here. And I put these little deep sea sets just under there for now until I find a better home for them. But this area is looking nice and full now with those new dioramas, some lightsabers that still need to find a home. At least there's nothing on the ground now. So when I go through them and vacuum, I can get all the dust and dog hair. However, I did pull these sets from back there that were just chilling on the ground. We've got Castle Fortificata, the Nutcracker, and also the Frozen Ice Castle. I'm thinking when I install the new shelving, I'm going to have some shelves that are tall enough to accommodate these, because they're really tall, right? There's no shelves that are available in this area that can accommodate those sets, and that's why they've been on the ground for so long. So I'm hoping when we get some taller shelves installed around the city like these ones, sets like that will have a home. So that's good. And this is definitely not the finalized home for the Octane gas station and also the activity center, but I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I have such a bad habit of just throwing everything under here on the platforms that we recently got rid of, but I'm trying to get out of that habit just because it becomes a clutter and looks so bad. It's a new year. No, it's not. It's not a new year at all, but I want to have a new mindset moving forward, I guess, to keep this place neat and tidy. It's a combination of efforts here. Simon's doing some sorting while I'm reorganizing the Lego room. He's doing a great job. It's a lot of parts that are going into the inventory. And you know what? It's funny, I recently ordered white panels for the mansion. But look at all those white panels. Nice. Part this thing out in style or what? I'll pick up the parts, don't worry. Slowly chipping away at the sorting there, and now my eyes turn to this shelf. So I put the pirate ships up there, the Statue of Liberty, the Empire State Building, and while I was cleaning up the other day, I put the Burrow and then the Ninjago sets. I'm going to redo that a little bit. I want to fill them up, and I just want to make that area look awesome before I even think about installing more shelves. The sets have got to be tall, and I don't want to add another shelf over top because having small sets up there are hard to access because the shelf is higher, and they just don't look as good as these big, impressive sets. So I'm sort of going with a boat theme, right? I'm trying to think of what other tall boats we have in the Lego room. Remember when I removed all these platforms from underneath the table the other day? Well, check it out. Now I've got the Burrow here. I can just bring it wherever I want. Let's bring it over here. Look at that. There's a nice castle. Okay, real quickly, I gotta just say something here. The Helm's Deep Lord of the Rings set is lame. Look at that thing. Imagine if they came out with a Helm's Deep in 2023. It would be substantially better than that. A lot of people are telling me to put the Burrow on the raised platform. I actually really like that idea. The Burrow is not mills plated right now, so I've got to mills plate it, and then when we do that, we'll probably give it a swift upgrade as well. This is interesting. This is rebrickable, and rebrickable custom. Pretty neat. All 4 sets are rebrickable models. When I was just spitballing ideas the other day, I was thinking that maybe I could extend the raised platform into the corner. And I still think I might do that because then this train line would pass under it and so would the other one. I was also thinking maybe this new raised platform has to be larger and like a square and go in this whole corner and be a little bit taller. Why would it have to be taller? Well, it just adds another level to the city, so that's really cool. But it would also have to be tall enough for the raised train line to pass underneath this square platform. And then that becomes pretty tall and really hard to reach in the back corner. But it would be cool to have a whole nother level right here that's just taller. And this could be maybe where that medieval scene is. I don't know. That's a crazy idea, isn't it? A taller raised platform that the raised train line goes under. It would be super cool for point of view, like first person point of view trains, having it pass through multiple tunnels. That would be super neat, right? That would be so cool. And it's something I'm still thinking about here is this corner. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. Lots of ideas though, that's for sure. Another thing is, if I put this raised platform here, it takes away a lot of space from the amusement park, and I don't know what I would do with the loop coaster. I don't really want to put it on top of that raised platform because then the thing would almost be touching the ceiling. So I don't really know what to do there. Also, if I put this platform that's slightly taller than this here in the corner, the shelf height becomes an issue back there. It would be pretty neat, though, to have like a castle or two on that raised platform, sort of like cities in Europe, right? And then have more castles on the shelf above that. That would be super cool. I was thinking maybe we could put Rivendell there, but I don't know. I sort of like Rivendell right there. I see it all the time when I'm working at my desk, which is nice. What was I doing again? Oh, yeah. I was redoing the shelf. Oh, man, it's easy to get sidetracked down here. Okay, but seriously, all the dioramas together over here, they look great. Other than the Indiana Jones one. It looks sort of strange from afar, doesn't it? Like, doesn't look as presentable as the Star Wars ones. I think it's because it's like an odd shape. You can't pull it to the front of the shelf. And there's just like a lot of gray space that you can't really make out the detail of it until you actually look at it. I like these ones because they're so presentable. Also, I prefer Star Wars over Indiana Jones. Just my personal preference. The Titanic is 4 feet long. That is crazy. There we go. That looks pretty awesome. We've got the Titanic, the Black Sea's Barracuda, Meadowbeard Sea Cow, and the Silent Mary. I also moved over the Ninjago sets to the left a bit there just to give them a bit more breathing room. The floating shelves, which need to be redone in the worst way, there's like nothing on there really, are sort of infringing on, or they were sort of infringing on Ninjago City, so that's why I decided to move it over. Now, I am really happy that I decided to go with the tracks. I know the tracks sort of take away from the display because you can see them on the walls behind, but I just feel more secure. Like, I feel like this heavy set is more secure when there are tracks installed, because the tracks have 3 screws going into the steel studs, whereas if I just use floating, well, that's funny, there's a head right there. Who put that there? But if I were to use floating shelves, I feel like if it's just like 1 screw in each stud and you got this big heavy set on the edge of the shelf, it sort of like uses leverage to like pry that out almost. So I just feel so much like better with tracks. I know they don't look as good as floating shelves, but it just feels so much safer for big heavy Titanics above my Lego City. But there we go. I think that shelf looks a lot better. I like the placement of Ninjago up here, but I feel like Ninjago City Gardens is sort of hidden because half the set is facing the wall, so you can't really see it. Also, I think the Ninjago boat, the Destiny Bounty, should be over here as well. What I did was put a 10 stud water plate there, 48 studs of water there, and then a 6 stud water plate there between Ninjago City Gardens and the temple. And I think that spaces it out nicely and gives us a nice spot for the Destiny's Bounty. Pretty cool. And from afar, I think that looks pretty awesome. You can actually see Ninjago City Gardens now. Sweet. That shelf looks amazing. And now there's a huge space open by my desk. So now that I've got that shelf dealt with there, it's time to move on to my next project. And my next project involves moving all of these tools. First, you remove the top of the tower, and then the midsection. And then finally the base of the tower, which is mills plated in spot. I remember working very hard embedding it into a sea of green. That's pretty cool, hey? It just fits like a glove right there. Like, it is actually ridiculous. It's like this spot is designed for it. The foot of it goes right in that little crevice. This thing is ridiculously tall. You just got to watch your step as you come into the Lego room, because you don't really want to kick that foot as you come around this corner, and I guarantee it's going to happen, but hopefully it remains safe. Well, you can see the things on the shelves over there now, but it definitely takes a lot of height away from that corner. But you know what? We're going to be extending this train track, extending the platform, moving the loop coaster, fixing this train track, and building something epic here eventually. Okay, so I've been working on this for quite some time now. I moved the loop coaster in its position, and I also re-mills plated all of those 48 by 48 plates. Had to create a 32 by 32 plate, a 16 by 32, a 16 by 16, multiple of those, and I essentially filled the entire amusement park in with green plate for now. So yeah, that works. There's definitely a lot of brick and a lot of plate, and just retailoring this whole area to make it work. Now, I did redo the train track as well. However, I haven't fully connected the train track, and that's because eventually I'm going to be building the Bricklink Designer Program train station, which is going to go right here. And when I do that, the ballast train track is going to have to be customized to accommodate that. So I'm not overly excited about putting a bunch of work into doing the train track properly and then changing it all again in a week or whenever I get that built. Also, it's going to be easier for me to move these mills plates and then hop up on this table and install the new track shelving that's going to go on this back wall if there's nothing here. So that's another positive of moving the Eiffel Tower and moving this. I now have access to the back wall to install that shelving. So the train track is where it is supposed to be right now. I've just got to build a little connection there and then reconnect this, put the train station there. Now the main line, the city line, is sort of weird. It's not ballast and it's not on a base plate. And that's because I need that table exposed in that corner for one of the legs for the raised platform. So a leg is going to go there, a leg is going to go where that hole is, and then there's going to be probably 2 legs in here, and I hope that gives the raised platform enough support. If not, I'll have to try and put another leg in or screw a piece of wood into the studs, into the actual wall, and have the platform sit on that piece of wood. That is an option. I could have done that for the whole platform. Probably would have made it pretty level, would have been easy to do. Just screw a, I don't know, a 2x3 or a 2x4 into the wall, and then it would just sit on that, and then I'd just have to put legs in the front. Probably would have been the better option, but it involves putting holes in the wall, so that's why I didn't do that. Yeah, so this is all supported by brick, so it's at the same height as the mills plated ballast train track, and then it gradually goes down here, and then it just rests on the table. So yeah, that works, and the trains will be able to operate on that. And the platform is going to be 15 inches, just like this one here. And it's going to go over top of all of this train track here. A tunnel right there, and a tunnel over there. And then I don't know what we're going to do to blend it in, if it's going to be more of this style stuff, or if it's going to be something custom for the amusement park. But I am thinking that Haunted Mansion will probably look pretty nice in the corner. Yeah, and if we could somehow work it into the amusement park layout, that would be super cool. And then, of course, the shelf above will have whatever miscellaneous sets on them, maybe more castles. And then I still have to decide what we're going to do with this raised platform. But this took quite some time just to get it all back up and looking good, you know, not having big holes in the mills plate. And even if this plate color changes, I just wanted to make sure it looks good for the time being. And now I've got to consider what I'm going to do for the platform here. If it's going to be one big piece of melamine going from here to the wall, and then install that as well. I actually had to remove a curve, so I've got a spare curve now. Definitely not going to part that out. Took way too much time to build. And check it out, everything is sorted. No, I'm just kidding. That's one of the positive things of putting the Titanic over there. I now have a larger graveyard spot above my desk. No, I'm just kidding. That has to get dealt with as soon as possible. And by next weekend, by the end of next weekend, all of that will be parted out and sorted, and both of those shelves are going to be cleaned up. So that's excellent. I just don't have time to do it right now because I've got important things to do, such as the Bricklink Designer Program train station for the amusement park and placing it in the amusement park, redoing the ballasting over here, getting that platform installed, getting the shelf installed, and what else? Getting the ocean water done because all of the parts are here for that. And so many different things are going on right now in the Lego room, but hey, that's pretty awesome. And I think we did a great job today cleaning up that area, moving the Eiffel Tower, and updating the shelf over here, and doing a bunch of sorting, reorganizing the shelves over here in the Star Wars area. And what else? I guess my tools are back out in the open here. That's unfortunate. But we just got so much stuff done today, and I feel like my journey of having a cleaner, more organized Lego room has begun, and I can't wait to keep it this way. That's my goal. And once we get those shelves up there, it's going to look awesome. Ooh, one thing I forgot to mention. I am going to be installing LED lights, and somebody had a really good idea. Rather than running the lights on the bottom, why don't you just put them on the back of the shelf, like right here? And then they'll actually face the wall, but the light will diffuse upward and downward and sort of light up the wall. So I'm going to be doing that. I don't have the lights on hand right now, so I can't do it right now. It's going to be a big job for sure because I already have all the sets on there, and I've got to get the lights, and then I've got to sort of pull the shelving forward an inch and sort of get behind it and put the light in. And then once I do that, the walls will almost be like lit up. We're going to do it there. We're going to do it on this shelf, and we're going to do it on the new shelf that I put over there. And that is going to look super cool. The lighting on Amazon is like $17 for 60 feet. So I'm going to buy a few of those and see what we can do with lighting in this Lego room. So that's another project that I want to work on, and I'm sure they're from Amazon, so they're going to be here in like two days. So that's good. Going to get those on order tonight. And then I've got to go to Home Depot and pick up the supplies for the shelving. but slowly but surely building a better Lego room. So yeah, I think we got lots done today. And the Eiffel Tower looks pretty cool over here as well. Absolutely massive. And I can't wait to continue my journey here. It's a lot going on this week. Pretty awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. Remember, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff because I'm probably off to the Home Depot. Farewell. And look what's still in the Lego City. That is a goofy spot for those. Wow.